Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Today is Sunday, July the 15th. So husband and I are starting our no meat, our no meat, the camera, yes, no meat journey. So I'm doing it for a month and he's doing it for 2 weeks. So today is day 1, so it really didn't hit me until today. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. But before, I've been hyped up. So far, I'm doing good. I went to a church dinner earlier today where they had chicken and ribs. I didn't touch it. All I had was rice and beans and also green beans. So yeah, so day 1, I'm going to record what we have tonight and maybe every other week. And let's see how this goes, y'all. Wish us good luck. He got big, strong muscles. He just put the water in the car. So yeah, he's tripping out about it. He's gonna do it for 2 weeks just to support me. I'm planning on doing it for a month. And then, depending on how it goes, I'm going to continue and just have it like every other month. So yeah, I will show y'all the food when we cook it. Hey everybody, what's going on? So thank you so much for joining me for another video. So today I'm going to be sharing my experience of attempting a temporary lifestyle change of doing no meat for 30 days. So if you want to know how that went for me, go ahead and keep watching.
No, I'm not a writer. Okay.
So, I'll start out with saying that I wanted to do the no meat thing for 30 days because I was just tired of feeling sluggish and weighed down and, you know, not getting good sleep and just feeling real groggy during the day and not resting well. And I just felt like heavy inside, like all the time. So I was like, it just came to me, okay, let's do a no meat thing for 30 days. So, but anyhow, so the first week was pretty good. I didn't have the temptation of eating meat. You know, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need meat. I wasn't like that. It was actually really good and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I've noticed like by the 3rd day that I was starting to sleep better. My energy had went up significantly. It wasn't to the point where I was just like bouncing off the walls, so to speak, but I could definitely tell that I had more natural energy during the day. And also my digestive system was working a whole lot better. Not to get graphic, so I'll just leave it at that. It was working a whole lot better. I felt lighter. I felt even more clear in the mind. So I was like, hey, this is cool. This might be a permanent thing. You know, I never thought of myself to be the person to give up like meat 100%, but actually after like that first week, I had actually considered it and maybe, just maybe doing, you know, meat maybe once a month or every other month. But I was actually thinking this is okay. And part of that had to do with the type of food me and my husband cooked. You know, a lot of people had this perception of, oh, if you're vegan or vegetarian, the meals are boring, you're eating the same thing every day. That is not true. You could actually come up with some pretty decent tasty meals too, doing being a vegan or a vegetarian, and you can find tons of videos on YouTube regarding that. So anyhow, you know, it was going well. We bought our vegetables and little fruit. The only thing, the downside with what we were doing is that we had a lot of carbs. So if you could find a way to do it without eating a bunch of carbs, then I think it's pretty good. So, but anyhow, most of our stuff was carbs, and I'll be inserting a clip of us, you know, with what we bought and some of the stuff we cooked. So anyhow, okay, yeah. So, ooh, what the heck? Why is this zoomed in so close? Anyhow, I want to show y'all some of the stuff we bought for our no meat thing. So we got, focus. So we got some lemons, some mangoes, a bunch of potatoes. We got some let's see, the Mama Mary's thin crisp pizza crust for cheese pizzas. And we got some black beans and some bunch of bell peppers. Let's see what else we got. We got some onions. This is spinach. We got 2 things of mushrooms, eggplant, and cookies. We ain't giving up sweets, not just yet. Some onions and let's see, some bell peppers down here. Yeah, so that's just some of the stuff we bought, and I think it's some more stuff. Oh yeah, some delicious grapefruits. Yeah, super big. So yeah, that's just some of the stuff we bought from Sprouts. Sprouts usually have sales on their produce on Sunday, so we got a really good deal. We got about maybe $70 worth of vegetables and fruits for 47 bucks. So it's a pretty good deal. So anyhow, y'all, just wanted to show y'all that. Y'all, this is our first meal of no meat, like
please stop saying no meat. I can't.
Okay. All right. So real quick, it's just red and green bell peppers, mushrooms, corn off the cob, eggplant, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of nice seasonings.
Rice.
And rice to go under it. So yeah, first meal. Y'all pray for us. So anyhow, you know, it was some pretty good food. Like you could do plain not enchiladas. Oh my goodness. You could do tostadas, like bean tostadas. And when I used to buy that, I used to do black beans. So black bean tostadas, nachos with no meat, you know, just different stuff. Like it's so many ways to make not eating meat fun. So anyhow, back to my experience. So the first week it was cool. Like I wasn't having any negative things going on. I was like, this is awesome. And so I weighed myself before starting, and I decided that I wasn't going to do an everyday weigh-in, because when you do that, that could be a little discouraging, especially if you're not seeing a change on the scale. So I decided to weigh myself at the end of every 7 days. So after the end of the first week, I had lost 5 pounds. No exercise, just cutting out meat. I was like, wow, this is cool. Not only do I feel good, the weight is starting to drop. So it's like, okay, cool. So, you know, I came into the second week of it, and after the second week, my husband was done. He's like, I just did this to support you, so I'm good. So like I said, I appreciated him doing that. So anyhow, the second week came around, you know, it was going good. I was getting a little bored because I was starting to cook the same things over and over again, you know, wasn't looking up recipes like I should have. So anyhow, but I was still cool. Like I didn't have no desire to eat meat. I was still very determined not to eat meat. So the second week went by, everything was cool. Weighed myself again, had lost another 3 pounds. So a total of 8 pounds. I was like, wow. So this is great. So approached the third week. Actually, at the end of the second week, I started noticing I was getting heart palpitations. And if you don't know what heart palpitations is, that's pretty much when your heart goes off its natural rhythm. So I had experienced heart palpitations before, but it was like way back, not way back, but it was like back in my 20s when I used to experience them off and on. And I knew the cause of them. Not that I had went to the doctor or anything, but I knew personally when I had heart palpitations what I needed to do to stop them. But when I stopped eating the meat, I'm like, why am I having heart palpitations? I'm not eating a bunch of fatty stuff. You know, like what's going on? And so I think my downfall was not doing research before just jumping into this thing and not getting checked up. And that's what I do advise. If you want to do this, it might be wise to go ahead and, you know, get a checkup to make sure that none of your blood levels or anything, vitamins or anything in your body is off. Make sure that everything is where it needs to be. And I did not do that, nor did I do, you know, too much research before jumping into it. And like I said, I didn't do this because, oh, this is what everybody's doing. I did this because I wanted to feel better and reset my system. So long story short, I started having a heart palpitations. I was like, okay, maybe it'll go away, you know, first day. Second day, having them again. And this time it was more than once a day. I was like, okay, maybe if this was another body part that I was having issues with, I'll be good, because, you know, maybe it's just my body getting used to the change. But the change of having no meat. But this is happening too much, you know, twice, 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, this is not cool. So I started to look up some stuff, and I had seen that when a person stops eating meat, sometimes there's vitamin deficiencies that can happen. And I wasn't taking, mind you, I wasn't taking no type of vitamins or nothing. I just stopped cold turkey. So I was like, maybe it's a vitamin deficiency. So I had some liquid B12 I had bought a while ago. So I started taking that, and I noticed the heart palpitations, they slowed down, but they still didn't go away completely. I was like, okay, what is this? So I kept looking up some stuff, and it was saying how other things could be deficient when you stop eating meat. So I was like, you know what? I'm not under a doctor's care right now. I don't want to take the chance and jack my body up, because it was saying, the research that I looked up was saying how like lack of vitamin B can really, really damage the body. So I was like, you know what? It ain't worth it, you know. So I unfortunately around 2 weeks and like 4 days, I had to stop doing the no meat thing. So what I did, I didn't just go back in and cold, you know, I just didn't jump back in and eat a big old hamburger or something like that. I actually cooked this homemade soup, and I added chicken into it, and I bought like natural chicken breast and cooked it, pre-cooked it, and then added it in my soup. And I had a little bit at a time and gradually put meat back into my diet. And I kid y'all not, the heart palpitations went away. Like after the first day of eating meat, went away, didn't have them anymore. So I shared this just to say, you know, it's good to want to change, you know, your lifestyle, but just make sure that your body is where it needs to be before you do that. My experience may not be anybody else's experience, so I'm not saying that at all for, you know, for those who may be like, oh, you're just trying to discourage people. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, for me, this is my experience, and it may not be yours. And also, I really, really enjoyed it. My husband enjoyed it too. So like I said, if you're thinking about giving up meat, go for it. Just make sure you get your checkups and make sure all your levels in your body are where they need to be before you just jump into anything. Not just not eating meat, but any type of body change that you may do that will affect your organs internally. Just make sure you follow up, you know, get checked up by your doctor. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and me and my husband, we actually recently talked about not doing meat again, but this time it won't be like for 2 or 3 weeks straight. It'll just be maybe one week without meat, then the next week with meat. So yeah, so anyhow, y'all, hope y'all found this helpful. If you experience some of the same things, please let me know down below. I would love to hear, you know, how it went with you guys if you tried the no meat thing. So anyhow, do what's best for y'all. Get checked up with your doctor and just go from there. Yeah, so anyhow, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful, let me know. Anyhow, I'll talk to y'all later.